Mindtree was established by 10 IT professionals in 1999. So how has the company grown and developed since then?
The last 12 years has been an absolutely exciting journey for us. Like you mentioned, 10 of us got together to start the company. We brought different skill sets, and that confluence of all those three skill sets in terms of understanding the US marketplace, understanding consulting capability, and what it requires to build a scaled software services business, that entire thesis played out very well. We have several innovative firsts to our name. We were the first company in India to cross 100 million revenues even before we were 6 years old as a company. We were the first company to go IPO in 2007 at a oversubscription of more than 100 times, so our IPO was extremely successful. We were recognized for our practices on corporate governance immediately after our IPO by two organizations, the Asia Money publication in Asia as well as the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in India. Recognized very strongly for our people practices, known as as the best employer in India, in the IT industry and across all industries. So it's been a wonderful journey. It's been absolutely a great journey over the last 12 years.
Well, congratulations again to you on the award. What does it mean to you?
See, the award means a lot. Part of the Mindtree vision is to be recognized and admired as one of the best companies in corporate governance because we work with global customers for whom our services are very core to their business. In becoming a trusted partner to those customers, getting this award gives a sense of confidence to those customers that they're really engaging with a company which is there for the long term, which will help them make them competitive and successful in their business. So it is a very, very important milestone in the history of this young company.
So what would you say is Mindtree's approach to good corporate governance?
I think Mindtree recognizes that good corporate governance starts with fundamentally delivering consistent and superior financial performance. On top of that, you have, I would say, two important parameters. One is to deliver that financial performance in an absolutely transparent and sustainable manner. Secondly, to deliver that performance, you need to recognize that you have multiple stakeholders, employees, customers, the environment, investors, media. Making sure that you deliver to the expectations of all of those stakeholders, I think, is the other important parameter if you want to be known for good corporate governance practices.
So do you think there is necessarily a conflict between good corporate governance and competitiveness?
Actually, we think that good corporate governance makes excellent business sense. Customers have far more confidence with us. Our Mindtree minds, as we call them, they believe that they need to do what is right in the context of the societies where we work with and do appropriate actions which is in the right interest of the customer. So we do strongly believe that good corporate governance actually makes excellent business sense, and it does not in any way reduce our competitiveness.
Now, there is an interesting Indian perspective on corporate governance arising from the so-called Satyam scandal in 2009. What was the fallout from that affair?
The Indian IT industry was recognized for a long time as being sort of the poster child for good governance practices and generally good management practices. We were the first to democratize, for example, wealth creation through large-scale ESOP programs for our employees. So on many fronts, the Indian IT industry stood apart as a sort of poster child amongst Indian industry. When the Satyam corporate governance scandal broke out, that foundation was shaken quite a bit. Markets lost confidence in the Indian IT industry. The scale of that event was clearly high. It also put a lot of pressure on customers. Things that they thought they took for granted in the Indian IT industry, they had to question. The regulatory environment became a lot more stringent. Overcoming all of those then required the collective will of all the other participants in the industry, and the industry came out of the scandal through all of those efforts.
Given the current economic environment, what do you see as the greatest risks to good corporate governance?
See, the economic environment is challenging, but obviously in any market, I think there are ups and downs in the economy. But like Rostow stated earlier, the Indian IT industry is really global in nature. I think the practices are globally scalable and admired in the context of transparency and how we govern our companies. So I think the same set of tough standards will continue to maintain in spite of economic cycles, because ultimately we believe excellent corporate governance is the best way to create stakeholder value.
If I were to just add to that, I think the question also reflects the management's perspective of time. People who run companies for a much longer time horizon in mind, people who run companies for 10 years, 15 years kind of perspective in mind, don't take shortcuts. It's managements who have a very short-term view on performing or short-term view on delivering results. Those are the kind of companies which take shortcuts on corporate governance. So well-managed companies, companies which have a long view on time, don't take shortcuts irrespective of the economic environment. They manage businesses for long-term value, and that I think is an important lesson that we need to learn in the current environment where businesses are managed on a quarter-to-quarter basis.
Rostow Ravanan and Krishnakumar Natarajan, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.